Okay, g'day. Let's move on to the next World Championship chess match. This one's between Lasker and Marshall in 1907. So there's a bit of a 10-year gap since the previous one. Lasker's was doing his mathematics doctoral work and so on. What happened here is there was a match in 1906, I believe, between Marshall and Tarish, which Tarish won 8 and Marshall won 1. So that's not not a very good start. So this match in 1907 is probably one of the World Championship matches which kind of shouldn't have happened. Small prize fund was raised. I mean, Lasker was working in America at the time, so obviously there was an agreement to do a chess championship. Now, if we move on and have a look at what happened in the score, you can see that this was actually the worst mismatch that we've had. The two blue lines, Alaska game score and win score. First to win 8 for whatever reason was declared champion. So Lasker had won 8 after game 15 and maintained his world championship. Marshall did not even win a game, right? So just sort of a shocking world championship match. So bearing that in mind, let's just quickly have a look at the two games I picked, game 3 and game 14, with blunders in them. One's 3 stars, one's 4 stars. When you look at the game of 14 one, you'll be a little bit shocked. Okay, but first off, we're looking at the game 3 match. You can see the position there. You actually see the profile of the game. Lasker as black has had quite a sort of a strong kingside attack, but if you look at the material balance, he's been a piece and then a rook down for some time, and basically been sort of probing, trying to find a weakness, and then finally Marshall cracked and lost in one move. So let's have a look at how that happened. Yeah. Okay, here we go. The move played by Marshall was rook F1. Have a look what's wrong with this move. Pause the video. Take a little bit of your time. So if you see the continuation, there's actually two winning moves, but well, the main one here is actually it's not recorded in my PGN. Rook F5, right? So now we are threatening rook H5, which is basically going to be checkmate in 2 moves, and there's basically no defense. In fact, the computer is suggesting rook there, queen there, and then still get mated, right? However, so you might think, for instance, that you can block the mate. Obviously, the main threat here is mate there, rook H5 mate. So you could play, for instance, queen to E8. But the problem with that move is, well, let's play through it. Let's see what happens. Queen there, queen to E8. Then now the checkmate changes. It's now queen to H4. Anyone? Well, not really much to it. King G2. Checkmate. Right. So that's fairly terminal. Now, so you might be wondering then, what was the gist of rook F1? One of the reasons rook F1 is such a bad move is that actually, if you see that checkmating pattern we just saw, now that queen check there covers that diagonal, and the square F1 is no longer available for the king to escape. Right, so it's actually it's the worst move, right? We'll go back a few minutes. We'll have a look at what's going on before rook F1 was played. Black has had for some time the chance, not some time, but one of the main moves here is rook H4 check, forcing the queen, take the rook, and then it'll be 2 rooks versus a queen. Pawn's basically balanced. The computer thinks it's a drawn endgame. In some of these lines, actually. White loses the f-pawn as well, right? So it may not be totally straightforward, but let's assume that's a draw. So basically what White needs to do is to protect, well, not to play rook f1 blocking that square, and to protect the second rank. A continuation it gives is, for instance, you go rook, just add variation, rook to b2, yeah? And then now that the sort of line's given, I mean, we can take the pawn on f3 first. It's one way of playing it. And white should block with the rook g2. And this is in various forms. There's a draw here. Here's a sample continuation from the computer. All sort of all falling back onto this variation I mentioned before. Now, the computer gives us as a draw, probably perpetual check by black, which is fair enough. So that's what should have happened in that game. The shocking move, rook f1, blocked the king's escape square and led to a very quick checkmate. So what we do with this one is so just going over to our tier ranking. I think we'll give that first one 3 stars. You know, it was a drawn game and it descended very quickly to a mate in about 6 moves. Let's move on to the next game, which is just close this, game 14. So let's see if I load up the right one. Change my layout a little bit, hopefully working a bit more smoothly now. Okay, so you see the position here, a very early blunder on move 11 actually by black, blundered. The game was lost. This shocked me. This game, right? So yeah, just out of the opening, white has a slight edge according to the stockfish, but you know it's even position, right? And then for whatever reason, I'm not even going to sort of put this as a test. Black just played bishop h2 check, which is like, what the hell is he doing, right? There's only one sensible move here. Lasker played, and so now Marshall is perhaps what he thought was that, excuse me, this knight was loose, and it's not the move he played, but you're thinking possibly that. But the problem with that is that you know, it's check. So we'll attack on the knight. Looks good, but you know, the knight would just move there. It's not pinned. There's nothing particularly troubling about it. The way the game continued, go back to here, played h5, and then just Lasker just developed, brought the bishop out, check there. Now you can actually take it. Don't need to take it. Drop the king back, and it's +5, right? Just out of the opening. Move 10, terrible move. It's like Marshall. He didn't care. He didn't want to play the game. I can't quite explain this one. Anyway, so that is game 14. So we'll just quickly go back to our tier ranking thing. And now as we go to the tier ranking again, this one definitely I'm going to give 4 stars. I mean, it was an abysmal error early in the game. Even though the match was over, it was almost like Marshall didn't want to play the game. So really left me a bit shocked. So that's the ranking for that one. That's I think all we're going to say about the Lasker Marshall match, right? Totally lopsided, and a couple of blunders there by Marshall, which kind of showed that he was quite in this match wasn't obviously showing his strengths. So next time we'll be looking at the match between Lasker and Tarish. Thank you for watching.